Or all right, guys. Good afternoon. My name is Rosalind Hall. Some of you guys know who I am. For those that don't, uh, I'm Rosalind. Nice to meet you. And today, you know that saying, "Stay ready so you don't have to get ready." It's a true statement. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready because simply I was sitting here minding my own business and I received a text and you see what is taking place. And I say that to say this. Sometimes people will you'll take this opportunity to get scared and to ball out and to like, oh, I can't do it, right? But if you stay ready and you're doing what you're supposed to do, you always want to have something to come and talk to the people about. So, all that being said, today we're going to talk about your standards and make sure. I know we're right now we're still low in numbers, but we want to make sure we get everybody on here that we can. Put it out there. Go. Those of you all that can go put it in the group. Say, listen, get on the training. Put it in your chats. Put it in your team groups. All right. Um, but I was thinking about like, okay, what can I talk about today? And I'm going to talk about something that Stanisha has been talking about for years now. And that's really upgrading your own standards. Now, when I say upgrading your own standards, I'm talking about who you are and who you think you are, because that's not the person that you really are. That's just who you are right now. And until you go and you do take it how you're going to take this how you want, but when you go do some learning, and when I say go do some learning, I'm talking about to change who you are and how you appear to yourself. That is a limitation. That limitation that you have on yourself comes from that. So let me say that again. The person, I'm gonna throw my phone in a minute. I don't know how to turn my turn. I should have put it. Let me do like Nina said. Put it on do not disturb. Thank you, Nina, because she would have unmuted herself to say that. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna ask Travis if you could come up here and just grab my phone so it won't be disturbing us. But because I couldn't figure it out. But what I'm saying to you is this: the old Rosalind had to change because number one, she could only see herself getting as far as she was because that's all she knew. So if I'm in kindergarten, I can't go to second grade. I can't go to first grade. I got to learn some more stuff. In order to go to fifth grade, you got to learn some more stuff. And in order for you to take your life, it's over there, baby. Thank you. In order for you to take yourself, in order to take yourself to the next level of where it is that Nina keeps telling you you could be, Stanisha keeps telling you could be, Twyla keeps telling you could be, Kimberly Bradley keep telling you can be, I keep telling you where you could be, and so on. If you don't ever do anything about it, you're gonna be in the same place. And I don't know if you really like where you are or not. Raise your hand if you're satisfied. Nobody better not raise their hand. And I mean that. How dare you? How dare you take this long and just been giving yourself crumbs? Because that's literally what we've been doing. We've been serving ourselves, me included, a plate full of crumbs. It's time for you to take these standards up. What have we been talking about over the last few weeks? I can't say it verbatim, but if Nina thinks of it, she can unmute herself and say it for me. But you can't teach nothing that you don't know. You can't take nobody nowhere you ain't never been. And we could get up here and sit up and read a book, all day long. But if you really reading a book and reading a book are two totally different things. If you're reading just to say you did it, it means absolutely nothing. But if you're reading for knowledge, if you're reading for knowledge, that's different. So you gotta change. You gotta be okay with the change. You gotta be okay with, oh, this is uncomfortable. And I've been in some uncomfortable situations. I didn't know how I was going to get out of them. And I ain't talking about nothing financial. I'm talking about how in the world. I'm gonna just tell y'all like this, okay? I'm gonna just be honest. I don't look at myself as a peon, but sometimes I'm serious. Sometimes when I'm hanging with Stanisha and Twyla and Nina, I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea I'd be hanging out with these cool cats. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't. That's not. But if you because the thing that what you understand what I'm saying, Miss Robin, because the thing is this, the thing is this, if you keep continuing living your life and not doing the things that you should do for yourself, because see, you ain't doing us no favors. And I wasn't doing them no favors. Stanisha doesn't, I'm not doing her a favor by growing myself. All she could be is like, yeah, I know Rosalind. She used to be in a company I was in. No, I don't want to be just, oh yeah, when Dan Putnam says, you know who Rosalind Hall is? Oh yeah, I know Rosalind Hall. She was one of the top leaders in the business for 15 years. See, that's the difference. Who I want him to say I am. I don't want him to just say, I don't want him to just be able to say, yeah, that's Rosalind Hall. Yeah, I know who Rosalind Hall is. I've heard of her vaguely. I want him to remember my name. And and like I said, at some point, you're gonna get to where you're sick and tired of people overlooking you. Because I'm not gonna make this about God, but I will tell you this. If you really and truly believe in the word and believe what it says, when it says he wants you to be the best. The word don't say that, but we know that's what it is. He wants you to be the best. When you your best, he gets the glory. You get a reward, and all he get is credit. But you won't even allow him to do that. You won't even allow you're taking away, you're being selfish towards him. And if you're gonna be selfish towards him, it, you can't do that. You can't do that. So we're gonna talk about raising our standards. Okay. So like I said, I wasn't trying to get all into that. So I'm gonna ask you, what is your standard? What is your standard? Sometimes you don't know what they are because you haven't tapped into it yet. You haven't tapped into anything. I'm gonna ask you guys, if you're in the bed, cut your camera off because I can't look at that. I'm not going to look at it. I will cut your camera off, please. If you're in the bed, I can tell because you're laid back. And I don't know if you've ever been on with the trainer and they, parlaying and stuff. Please cut your camera off. It's okay. I'm gonna still talk to you. But you gotta do some stuff so you can tap into that next person. Okay. See, the thing is, you recognize, boy, I need work. I need a whole lot of work. And when you recognize that, you go and you start tapping into it. You go out on an exploration or whatever, and of a lack of to see where you're lacking. Figure out what it is that I cannot do. Let me raise your hand if you still hadn't done that live. It's okay. It's okay. But Nina gave us a really good training the other day to help us go because it's not about us. In order for you to help other people, we want to make a whole lot of money. But we want to make a whole lot of money just where we are. We can't, we want to I'm sorry, we want to make a whole lot of money by helping people. Baby, how you gonna help somebody and you ain't going to talk to nobody? How they gonna find you? And some people are like, I don't have anything to talk about. What are you studying? You could tell them all about what you're learning. You don't have to be, I don't want to get on the field dumb. Hell, I'm a dropout. Hello, somebody? Hello? I'm a dropout. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the only thing I'm not great at is math. I can read, I can write, but there's still some things that I don't know and things that I'm not going to learn when I'm in school, when I was in school anyway. You go read the books that they tell you to read. Better yourself. That's what I'm talking about today, y'all. I'm going to just go on and break it down in the layman's term. Better yourself. Better yourself. So go figure out what it is that you're lacking. What is it you're not doing? Because I could guarantee the goals that you've put out for yourself, you're not going to reach them where you at. You're not going to reach them. I don't know if anybody's been lying to you, telling you, oh, I think you'll be able to do this and go this far. No, you gotta do some stuff. You know anybody who didn't do second, third, and fourth grade and they go into high school? No. Life is just that way. Growth in this industry is just that way. But not just growth to be in this industry. You gotta it's going into what it is that you're going to do in the industry. We always want somebody to join our team. Why would they? Give people a reason to join your team. Personal development is so important. I got a call from Stanisha one day and she was like, what are you learning? I'm like, learning? What do you mean learning? She's like, yeah, like, what are you doing? Nothing. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. No, you got to read. No, you got to listen to something positive. So that's where I started. I started I started with something positive. I started with something positive. And when I did that, everything changed for me. Um I was I want you guys to today I'm just going to keep it as real as I can. On a scale 1 to 5, would you rate yourself as a positive person, a middle person, or not positive person? Because the reason I'm asking that is because you gotta change. You gotta change. You're just too comfortable. You wake up in the morning, you go brush your teeth, and you go. Can you imagine living life at the rate some of us are going? Our life is still gonna be the same. We hear it on training all the time. If you don't change, your life will be the same until simply because you're used to being comfortable. But you got to understand this. Get this. Wherever you are now and whatever it is you're practicing now, your income is not going to go up. Your influence is not going to go up. Nothing is going to increase because you're not changing. If anything, people start following. They're like, I thought she was gonna give me, and they start falling off. And now you're wondering, well, where the people? Because they realize this lady talking about the same thing she was talking about before. And I told Stanisha that today. I finally realized that I was elementary. Everything I said was elementary because that's where my growth stopped with elementary conversation. Give me 1 second. I've got my notes right here. And I think I covered them up. So figure out what book you're going to read. If you don't know what to read, I'm going to give you a couple. Hung by the Tongue. Whatever you're saying, that is going to help, that is going to come to pass. And I want to remind y'all that every time you say something negative, it has to fall somewhere. It don't just keep lingering in the air. It has to fall on something or somebody. Hung by the tongue. And remember this, you can only go as far as your knowledge is. It's hard to teach something or tell somebody something when you don't know. Have y'all ever driven a stick shift before? You can't, you can get in the car, but you're not going to be able to drive it anywhere. You being in the car means nothing, but you gotta drive the car. So you have to do something to learn how to drive the car. Give me 1 second. Now I really need my phone. Give me 1 second. I got it. I got it. All right. So the first thing, like I said, is recognize that you need to upgrade your standards, and you want to reflect on the current standards, recognize them, and see what you need to do to raise them up. Because when you don't realize the potential that it's because you don't realize that there's more potential because you haven't explored beyond where you are and what you're used to. The second thing is the personal growth with applied knowledge. And that personal growth comes from applying knowledge, reading the books, seeking deeper understanding forces us to think differently and opens up other possibilities. Again, you're not going to attract the people that you want until you do that. I'm so glad I found my notes. Expand your horizons. And just like I said, learning how to drive that stick shift or navigating at the airport. It's like when you go to I'm going to travel by myself one day. I'm going to travel by myself one day. I'm going to travel by myself one day. Okay, you keep saying it, but when are you going to actually buy the ticket, go to the airport and say, okay, I got to do this? That's a lie. And you ain't even got to buy a ticket. You don't even have to buy a ticket. Just do it. Open your mouth. When you do stuff like that, Miss Gladiola met us in Orlando. She flew by herself. She's 74 years old. So of course, I made sure that I went and got her at her terminal. But the thing is, she got on the plane by herself, found her way, and you know what she did? When she didn't know, she asked somebody along the way. She didn't go back and she didn't go back home. She went all the way. So now she's more comfortable. Now she's flying everywhere by herself. And this was just a couple of months ago. Guys, confidence grows with applied knowledge. When you do more, you like, oh yes, I'm getting more and more comfortable doing this. If y'all don't stop staying where you are not going to be able to do a lot of the things that you're saying you really want to do for your family, for those grandchildren, for those great grands, buying homes for you. We see our kids having a hard time. And we keep talking about, see the thing, we keep talking about, oh, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do this for my kids when I do that. You know, I'm just saying, I'm just gonna throw this out here. Nina inspires a lot of it. Nina got a big team. Borrow her belief. Stanisha got a big team. Borrow her belief. Twyla got a big team. Borrow her belief. Borrowing belief to do something, even if it means, I don't know if I can take this trip. I don't know if I'll be able to stay consistent. But see, the thing is this. I want you to take that belief to a different level. Now, how did we get the belief? I don't know. You're going to take that belief to a different level because that is the thing that's stopping you right now. This is the live. I can't do the live. I'm afraid to do the live. But Nina said that you can do it. Rosalind said you can do it. I'm just so afraid. I'm handing this to you as representation of belief. When you finish with it, you ain't even got to give it back. I want you to pass it to somebody else. See, y'all, all of these excuses of why we can't do something, it has nothing to do with your upline. It has a lot to do with you not doing it. Take a breath. Jesus. Let it out. Now go over there and I want you to get a piece of paper and I want you to write belief on it, just like this, because I really feel like this is the one thing that's keeping a lot of you guys where you are. And you need a piece of paper. It's hard to borrow belief when you don't know how to. When Stanisha told me to borrow her belief, she said, borrow my belief. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. She on the phone and she telling me to borrow something I can't even see. What in the world? So I said, okay. I said, I don't really know how to do this. So I'm just going to imagine that you handed me belief and I'm going to take this with me everywhere I go. And when I feel like I can't do it and I get scared, I'm going to say, but I got Stanisha's belief. So I literally did everything that I could because she said I could, and I could not let her belief down. See, I didn't want to let her down. So I just kept it with me. I would walk around the house sometimes like, okay, Stanisha said I could do it. I'm going to borrow her belief. And I physically did this because I borrowed her belief to do some stuff that I didn't even think. Why would I even think that I could retire my husband? Why would I think that I could make $10,000 a month? Why would I even think that? Because I didn't know. It's holding you back. And when you get those, y'all get your piece of paper and hold it up, and it's gonna say belief. And we're gonna take a picture at the end. And even if we won't take a picture, you gotta have belief when you don't have none. It's like your faith. That's your faith. Well, God is faith. Come on now, keep it. Come on now, come on. Don't start that kind of stuff. Every day you're gonna start doing some positive actions. Number one, you're gonna ask yourself, what are you reading right now? Are you engaging in positive mind growing activities every single day? You know what? Stanisha told us to listen to the Strangest Secret. Told us to listen to the Strangest Secret for a long time. That's all I knew. We got on and started listening to the self-confidence formula on there on the power hour. That's all I was listening to. I'm like, oh wow. Stanisha said, read the self-confidence formula. I'm like, oh my goodness. Twyla got on one day during training and she said, some of y'all gonna remember this. She said, first of all, my life becomes exactly what I say it is. I wrote that 2/19/2024. But in this journal, the first page, I'm a Black diamond and I make $60,000 a month. And I saw that Twyla had done this. So I started doing it in this notebook every single day and just writing and just writing and just writing every single day. But will you do it? Our limited thinking comes from it comes from where we were raised, but you have the power to change that. The same way you change your job and learn a new skill to run that machine at the job, you got the same ability to change what you're doing right now and how you doing life. Because it ain't right. It ain't right. You living in a state of low level stuff on purpose because there's somebody down here that you're trying to keep up with, or somebody down here you don't want to leave. You keep saying you want to come up, but you don't really want to come up because you feel like you're going to be by yourself. Well, what if I told you when you get up here, we up here, we up here. You don't want to be down there. Bad habits. Let's talk about these bad habits that we keep doing. You got to eliminate them. I was riding in the car with Denisha when we were in Atlanta, and she was I'll keep it real with y'all. She was asking me. She said, "What are you doing? What are you doing that's blocking your growth?" And y'all probably heard her. She said, because she said it at training. She said she told y'all, she asked me. She just didn't say my name. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. She said, "What are you doing?" She said, "You were growing and then all of a sudden you stopped." I said, "I don't know." Not exactly like that. And I had to think, I said, hmm. I said, I got a habit. She said, "What kind of habit do you have, Rosalind?" And I told her what it was. She said, "Nah." I said, "No, really." She said, "That can't be it." I said, "I think it is. And I'm going to tell you something. If you think about everything that you do during the day, what are your hands doing that you're not working your business? What is your hand? Because whatever your hands are doing, that's where your mind is. And if your mind is occupied with what the hands are doing, and the hands aren't doing anything positive or growing or anything into the business, because I could be, oh, I want to do the business, but guess what? I could be on here doing crossword puzzles. Y'all, I could be over here just playing games with my phone. So that's where my mind is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with those little habits, those little things that we think that we're doing. So you got to identify and eliminate those that are holding, because they really are holding you back. um it could be smoking. I'm telling you right now, because when you're smoking, that means, wait a minute, over here, I'm thinking about something or what have you. I don't know who smoked, and don't get offended, but that could be one of the things. What is going on? What are you doing? Well, I go in the kitchen and cook all day. Nah, you ain't cooking that much. That's a lot of dishes. It's a lot of dishes. But think about the things that you're doing. Is it the remote in your hand and you're just clicking the hey, it could be the TV that has your mind occupied, and well, I'm working, but the TV is on. If the TV is on, you're looking at it, and you're not, your mind is occupied on what's on that television. That's not a habit. Oh, yes, it is. You know anybody that said, "Oh, what time is it? I gotta go watch such and such." So replace those with positive actions that will create more time and space for growth in your business and your personal life. You can't read a book if you're watching TV. Use TV as a reward. How many of y'all ever heard Nina say, "I rewarded myself and I watched a certain show"? Her and Paige watched a certain show and they watched all of them like in 3 days. That was her reward. It could have been her reward for hitting Black Diamond. It could have been her reward for staying at the top of the leaderboard for 2 years and 17 months. Well, whatever it is. But I want you to understand that that has to reward yourself. If you haven't done your work, you don't hey, you gonna reward your kids when they don't do the right thing? No, then don't reward yourself. Don't reward yourself. Moving beyond your past. Now I'm getting ready to come down some of y'all lane. When I say moving past your past is just a location. It's not a place to stay. I'm gonna say that again. Your past is not it's just a location. It's not a place to stay. So don't let your past experience dictate your present, and use them as lessons to strengthen you and propel yourself forward. What do you mean? I'm going to use the drawing board for this one. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, do not put your keep your hand off of the screen. Otherwise, you'll mess up the diagram. See, there goes somebody right there already at it. Please stop. Please, please, please stop. This is your life. Okay? That's your life. Inside this life, you got different. Can y'all see who this is? Okay. We're going to try it again. We're going to try it one more time. Okay. I'm going to try it one more time. Okay. Here's your life. I want you guys to listen to me. Listen to me. I want you to go to the chat and I want you to put some of the things that you've been through in your life. It could be abuse. It could be neglect. It could be bullying. It could be rejection. It could be fatherless. It could be some type of, it could be sexual abuse. It could be molested. It could be raped. It could be left for dead. It could be anything. Put them in the chat. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you how those things, I don't mean to yell at y'all, but I'm going to show you how your past is controlling your present. I had to go through this. I had stopped writing on the page. Rejection.
Rosalind, you can stop them from being able to because you're the host.
Can you tell me what to do?
Hold on. Go to where security is, click over security, and then it should say stop annotation or something like that. It'll stop them from being able to write on there. And I'm erasing what they just wrote.
Okay. Can you see who it is that's doing it?
I can't see it.
Me
I don't
either.
know.
It says share whiteboards.
Yeah, take that off.
All right.
Then they shouldn't be able to. Okay.
Okay. So thank you so much. All right, rejection. Y'all, this right here is going to hit home. Rejections. All right. What's another location? Illness. Wow. Rape. Guys, let me tell you something. You are not alone in any of this. And that's the thing. And this is why I love network marketing. Because you find out here, everybody is accepted and nobody is going to judge you. I'm going to put bullying in here for me. Depression. And I'm going to show you guys how we are the same. I see it's okay. It's okay. Pain. But what kind of pain? I'm not going to put pain up there. Being the last immediate family alive. That sounds like loneliness. But we're talking about the past. Loan. However you spell it. I ain't even looking. Oh man, divorce. I don't think I made my thing big enough. I'm all right. Death of death. I'm just about death of loved one. I want you to see how these things in your life, all of these things have a place. They are locations. Depression again, manipulation, grief, manipulation. And we're going to get past this stuff. Manipulation. Listen, if you don't mind me teaching, if you don't mind my misspelled words, ooh, lack of confidence and low self-esteem. I'm gonna put low self-esteem. I'm gonna put that for me and you. What else we got? You going to work? All right. Love you. Have a good day, son. Abandonment. Do y'all understand? Do y'all see what I'm talking about? I think we have enough. We were on the other night. I was on a live the other night, and being raped, molested. That's another one I'm gonna put on here. Because here's the deal, y'all. People don't want people to know that they were molested. People don't want people to know that they were raped. You do understand that, right? But it happened. I was bullied. I I know who my biological father is, but I've never had a conversation with him. So when somebody talks about their dad, I feel mixed emotions. But what I've learned about it is when they talk about their dad, it's okay for me to feel emotion because that's a part of me saying, wow, I didn't get to experience that. And then my mind goes to, oh, that's so sad. But it's not sad because I have to look at it a different way, as if I get to experience it with somebody else, the happy part of it that I didn't get to experience. So I turn my sadness into, oh, because I'll be doggone if I'm gonna go back to being fatherless over here. Hold on a minute. Let me put it on here. I'll be doggone if I'm gonna continue to feel fatherless. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. This is your life. And these are locations. So okay, oh, at one time I felt low self-esteem. Here's the thing about this. You may have had low self-esteem, but you have the ability to grow yourself out of that. And see, then when you grow yourself out of it, let me get the pen. See, when you grow yourself out of low self-esteem, guess what that gives you? Now that just becomes a location. Now you're at confidence. You understand? You don't stay at low self-esteem. You grow so you don't live there no more. You remember it, but you ain't got to go back to visit that. It's just a location that you'll never go back to see. Rejection. Who made you feel rejected? Who made you feel rejected? And when you feel rejected, it's low self-esteem in there. You feel hold on a second, y'all. Let's make sure we didn't get hacked. Okay. Make sure y'all don't, make sure you don't, I'm gonna take it to this right here. So all of those things, I should have put the whiteboard behind me, but all of those things are locations. You get it? All those things are locations. They're just locations. Your life is a map. Your life is a map. Look, low self-esteem. Then you came over to this one and you visited that one for a little while. You didn't stay there because there's something always after that. Then you traveled down here and you're down here like, man, I remember when I was here. It's a location. You're not meant to stay at the bully. You're not meant to stay at the raped. You're not meant to stay at the molested. You're not meant to stay at the loneliness. You're not meant to stay at the fatherless and the bullying and the low self-esteem. You grow to get out of those things. It's just the location. And when you stay there, it means that if you stay there, this is what your life should look like. That's it. But if you're moving around, you're growing. You don't have to keep going back there. Stop going back to the rape. Grow. Stop going back to the bullying. Grow. I know they made you feel bad. Let me ask all of y'all a question. If you got bad service at a certain place when you went to go eat, would you even go back there? You're not going to go back. Your past is holding you hostage because you're allowing it. And until you decide that you're going to get out of that and grow yourself and start doing positive things, you have to force yourself. If you got to cry, cry. Rosalind, why didn't you do such and such? I hadn't done such and such because I didn't have a father. Does that even make sense? I blamed being fatherless of why I hadn't gone any further than where I was. I blamed it because I was bullied. I blamed because I was rejected. I blamed because I was a dropout of why I could not read the book, why I could not make the post, why I could not do the live, why I could not, all of those things. What is it that you keep going back to? Well, when I was young, I can't go live because when I was young, people used to pick at me. It's time for us to accept something. It's time for you to accept the fact that you have allowed yourself in this mess all this time. You've allowed it. I'm not here to do personal development, but I'm just telling y'all, this is what I went through. And I had to get out of that. I had to eventually get to the point to where either are you going to keep staying there? You ain't got no business crying every day. You get up and you take this right here. You take this right here. And let me tell you something. If it was spelled wrong, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even give a darn. The fact of the matter is, I am borrowing Stanisha Graham's. I'm almost getting emotional writing this. Belief. Let me tell you why. See, long time ago, she learned something and gained some wisdom in some areas that I hadn't developed, in some areas that I wasn't good at. So she was more into God's word than I was. So she was practicing belief longer than I was. Although I'm 53, and she is, you know, I'm 53. Stanisha's 37, 36. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old the person is. If you are connected with a coach or a mentor or somebody who believes in you, and I can tell you right now, all these gals that are here, all these powerful women that we are surrounded by, when I tell you they believe in y'all, in us, they believe in us because they have been in places like us. See, the thing is, Twyler has a different story. Stanisha has a different story. Nina has a different story. I have a different story. But put a 1 in the comments if you can relate to at least one of us. So why would God bless them and not bless us? Why would God bless them and not us? There ain't no special in us. Their belief is bigger. And we need that. We need that. So when you go live and you talk about the thing that you're afraid of, or you believe in the system that we're practicing doing the 30 and the 7, you're okay. It's like, you know what? You know what? I'm so happy because I'll write it in a minute. I decree and I declare that I made $250 today, and say it with a smile. See, you gotta learn how to, how many of y'all play? Mama, daddy, aunt, you was the teacher, somebody. How many of y'all played play? Some of y'all sitting there like you ain't played play. Wow. Wow. You ain't never played play. Can you play now? Can you play now? Give yourself permission to play. It sounds like Rosalind ain't yelling at y'all. That's just me. It's just me. Don't nobody go back telling she was on there yelling at us. No, I was not. I'm trying to help you out of that spot because you stuck. You stuck in this location. And I'm trying to pull you out. And I know if I can pull you out of here, you're going to be well on your way. You're going to, when you release yourself out of that position, you're going to be hot almighty. Hoo-wee! Nina, Stanisha, don't even tell nobody you're ready. Show up. Did you know that sometimes we see y'all doing stuff and it's like, Lord, okay, I don't want to say nothing too quick because I don't want them to get nervous. Because sometimes we'll get nervous and then somebody say something, it's like, oh goodness, I did good. And you'll stop. But you go and go and go. Rise to the standard. When you set these new standards, it means you got to do something different. Baby, you got to leave that location. Because there's one of them you stuck at. One of these locations you keep going back visiting. Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one you keep going back to? It's the one that you think hurt you the most. But that's not even the one that hurt you the most. That's the one that, if that's the one that's really, really hurting you, that's the one your butt need to be talking about. You got to deliver yourself. And I wish I could throw a net in there and say, I got you. You got to pull yourself out of the water. We're gonna be standing on the shore with a towel. And when you dry, all right. Well, don't worry about getting the sand out of your hair, because while you're running, it's just gonna be falling out and shaking everywhere. Guys, it's time for you to set some new doggone standards. And you're just where you are because you're where you are. You're not where you are because somebody likes somebody else the best. You're not where you are because somebody else is like someone else more, and they keep hanging around and keep asking this person to come and do it and come over here with me. Let me tell you I'll tell you what's contagious. Scared energy. Because the energy of fear, you know who's behind that? It's Satan. And you better quit letting him hold you back, because he's standing back there behind you like this. I won again. I got another one. I got another one. And I got another one. And it's up to you. You got a choice. Either you gonna keep making him happy, or really be able to say how God brought you through and you overcame all of that. And that location that you were stuck at, you done packed your luggage. And actually see, the thing is, you can actually do that and do this. And this is your goal. Happiness, influence, joy, power, love. Y'all know when the first time I ever went to the mirror and looked at myself in the eyes in the mirror? I was so hurt from my past. If I cry, it's not because I'm sad and I see the time. I could not look at myself in the mirror because I didn't even know who I was. I didn't know what to know. That don't make no sense, does it? I didn't know that I could be happy, really happy. And when I released the bullying, when I released the fatherless, see, my mama was raped when she was 14. So I can't blame, I had to learn, wait a minute, that's not my mama's fault. That's his fault. Thank God. I started thanking God that he didn't allow that relationship with him. Because you know why? That would have been so hurtful for my mama. Now I'm like, I ain't even thinking about myself. That would be so hurtful for her. And I thank God that he delivered me from all of that hurt. So now when I go to the mirror now, I'm like, oh, I can look at myself now. I really couldn't look at myself, and I'm like, girl, you got it going on. Jeez. I literally can go in my, Rosalind, I love you. I couldn't even say my name. My name Rosalind. Rosalind. I'm gonna stand in the back. No, go home. Don't call my name. But when you decide to leave that location, you're gonna have you're gonna have some new clothing, because that other stuff don't fit no more. You won't have to go out and buy none, but they don't fit no more. And I got a lot of stuff, other things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. But I just want you guys to remember, your empowerment is through when you reflect on that stuff, not living it. It's not meant to be lived in again. It's meant to be reflected upon. Okay? I think this is going to take care of the stagnation. I think this will take care of the stagnation. I don't have to continue. And you continue to grow and you continue to read. I guarantee you the next time you run across one of our pages and you see a book, you better go order that book. You don't message us talking about what book is that you read. You can zoom in. You're zooming in on everything else. Zoom in and go buy the book. All the books that just go buy the books and read 10 pages a day. Start there. And then your other thing to do is you are going to read. If you're not reading the Bible, you're going to start the day. You're going to read one scripture a day until it starts pulling at your heart. And you'll know when it's pulling at your heart. That's how you grow your relationship with God. And if you don't want no relationship with him, don't read. But I don't know how to help you after that. New standards. New standards. I know I started out training a little rocky because I lost my notes, but I'm telling you right now, this thing right here, I'm going to read this for you, and I promise we're going to get off here on time. We got our opportunities right now. The self-confidence formula says this. I know that I have the ability to achieve my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand persistent, continuous action towards its attainment. I hereby promise to render such action, meaning I ain't going to stop until it's done. The main thing. Second, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves outwardly. Physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I'll concentrate my mind on for 30 minutes daily upon the thing that I want to be, upon the thing that I want to be, and being that person. That's why Sister Nisha and them keep saying, you got to see yourself as that person. I don't know how to see myself as just don't see yourself as you. See yourself as a bigger and more powerful you. You got to find some way to figure out how to become that bigger person. Third, I know through the principle of autosuggestion that that anything that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually come to pass. I'm gonna stop right there. It will. Anything you're thinking about, that's all you're gonna become because you're manifesting it. It's feeding it. So if your mind is on, oh boy, last time her husband, I wonder what the neighbor doing over there. Every time I turn around, she probably gonna get caught. Look, or oh yeah, her boyfriend done beat her up one time. It's probably gonna happen again. He gonna get her again because she keeps it. Just so. Before you know it, you're now saying, I knew it. Or I knew my car was gonna break down. I knew it was gonna happen again. I cut that out. Cut it out. It's negative talk. It's negative talk. Whatever you thinking, that's what's going to come out. 4, I've clearly written this down and I'll never stop trying. In other words, number 4 means, Lord, I ain't ever giving up. I ain't ever giving up, period. And number 4, and the 5th thing, I want y'all to listen to this because this is something that's very, very important. You cannot be jealous. You cannot be envious. You cannot be, you can't practice these bad things about people and expect to get a big blessing. You cannot. And the other thing is this, don't engage in nothing that's not going to benefit everybody. If you're going to engage in something, it's going to benefit this one and benefit that one and benefit that one. That's not good. That's not good. I encourage you to go and print this out. If you're on my team, it's already it's been in the team group since the very beginning. Nina probably has it. It's anywhere you can, y'all, you can find this anywhere. I believe it's in I believe it's in our main group, the self-confidence formula. Stop ignoring the signs to help you grow. That's the last thing. All right. So I just want you guys to be encouraged to raise your standards and apply some new knowledge so you can break free from those past limitations, because that's all they are. All right, guys. Thank you for jumping on today. I love you, and we love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'll see you guys later.